All right, week 4 college football breakdown here. Nice little Pac-12 matchup. This is this is probably a more relevant matchup now than people might have thought preseason. Got Oregon going to Pullman to take on Washington State. This has kind of been a weird line. It's kind of bounced around from 6 to 7. I do see 7s right now in Oregon's favor as the road favorite. And total right now is at pretty standard, 56.5. I think we've seen Oregon at their worst week 1 against Georgia. And you might say, well, they're playing Georgia. And I get that. But Bo Nix has clear limitations as a passer. And I think we saw that in that game when stepping up in competition. On the other hand, though, they looked great last week against BYU, and they've got a slew of really explosive running backs, even with the loss of Travis Dye. I mean, as you might expect with a team like Oregon, got a lot of speed at that running back position. And once they're able to establish that, makes Bo Nix's job a lot easier. It seems to be a pretty good transition into this new system at Oregon. I'm not a Bo Nix guy, though. And so that can be true, and I can still not trust him as a touchdown favorite on the road against a team that I might have just straight up overlooked preseason. I was not particularly high on Washington State. I mean, their win total was at 5, so neither was the betting market, but we saw their front 7 step up in a major way when they went into Wisconsin and beat outright a physical Badger team. I liked their front 7 last year, just didn't know how they were going to be able to make up for some of the losses they had at that linebacker position. Seems to be working out pretty well. I do think it's a little bit of a different, mix facing an Oregon. It's just a different system going up against Oregon than Wisconsin. Oregon's going to spread you out and kind of run the ball more that way. Probably a little bit more laterally too, just more speed than a typical ground and pound like Wisconsin. But so I don't really know what to think there. Kind of conflicting thoughts on both sides. Washington State offensively can't run the football. Can't trust them to run the football in this matchup. I love Oregon's front 7 defensively, not necessarily from a pass rushing standpoint. I mean, losing a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau just doesn't get made up for like that. But I love what they have interior defensive line. I love what they have with the linebacker position. Noah Sewell, maybe the best linebacker in the Pac-12. So I love their front 7. And I don't like Washington State's run game in and of itself. So I certainly don't love it in this matchup. But that being said, I don't know if they need it, because this is more of an air raid scheme to begin with. They brought over Cameron Ward from Incarnate Word, who ran the air raid system, obviously at a lower level, but with him comes Eric Morris, his offensive coordinator. So this is a system that has worked in the past. It didn't really work great against Wisconsin. I mean, Washington State won that game via defense and getting stops. I was expecting serviceable play from Cameron Ward, not necessarily great. I think that's kind of what we've gotten here so far in 2022, but Oregon can be had in their secondary. It was an issue a year ago, and I know the hopes are high. I know that they played pretty well last week against BYU, although I think the offense clearly won them that game. I don't know. This is a really tough matchup in my mind. Out of the 5 power conferences, I do have multiple plays on Pac-12 games this week, but this is just the type of matchup that I don't have a great feel for. 2 first-year head coaching staffs. A lot of variance in this game, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon won this game by 17. Wouldn't be surprised if this game came down to the wire. So I'm not endorsing any other channels here, but there are other people who probably have a better feel on this game. This is one that I, tried to handicap, looked at it from every angle. No play on this game. No feel whatsoever. So pretty easy pass for me. Appreciate y'all watching the video. If you like what you heard today, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and don't miss any of the upcoming content. Comment your best look on this game down below. Side, total. If you're not a betting guy, just a prediction. Comment your best look on this game down below. You see this shirt right here. I know you've been staring at it the whole time. Go to proud90.com. Unique but very comfortable polos as well. Also got t-shirts, hoodies, quarter zips. Proud 90's got all your golf apparel needs. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. Support me. Support Proud 90. Proud90.com.